What's up, survivors? Welcome back to the channel for another deep dive into the wasteland mechanics of State of Survival. Today we are looking at something that has been causing a bit of headache for many of you in the community, and that is the choice between vehicle skills for Arc Warden. Specifically, we are looking at the Gen 1 Shield of Despair versus the Gen 2 Shield of Control. This decision can actually make or break your performance in the capital clash or during a high stakes state versus state event. So we need to break down exactly which one you should be running based on your spending level and your role within your alliance. To start things off, let us take a look at the Shield of the Spear. This is your classic Gen 1 passive skill, and at level 6 it provides a 450% strength shield for all friendly troops, triggering every 6 infantry base attacks. What makes this skill particularly interesting for the average player is the secondary effect. When your infantry health drops below 50%, that shield strength gets a 35% boost. This is what we call a combat mechanic. In State of Survival, your infantry are your frontline mid shield. They are always the first to take beating, and for a free-to-play player and low spender, your infantry are likely to hit that 50% health threshold quite early in a fight against a stronger opponent. Because this skill does not require any specific hero types to function at its baseline, it is incredibly reliable. You don't need to worry about whether your heroes are specialized in control, lethality or health. I mean control, berserker or resilience. The shield is going to pop regardless of who is leading the march. This makes it the premier choice for the free-to-play players and low-spending community. When you are operating with limited resources, consistency is a king. You want a skill that works every time, regardless of the Frankenstein hero marches, I mean the mixed ones. You might be forced to run because you haven't maxed out the latest generation of heroes yet. Now let us pivot over to the heavy hitter, the Shield of Control. This generation 2 skill is a completely different beast. At level 11, as shown in our analysis, it starts the battle by creating a shield immediately and then continues to refresh it every 5 infantry base attacks. Right off the bat, you can see the power creep here. It triggers more frequently than Generation 1 skill and provides a 600% base strength shield, which is already a massive upgrade. However, the real kicker is the conditional requirement. If all of your friendly heroes are of the control style, the shield strength is increased by a staggering 120%. This is where we talk about the rally leads. If you are a powerhouse player responsible for filling and leading rallies, you are expected to have the latest and greatest hero compositions. Usually, the top tier heroes in a specific generation will share a style such as control. For a whale or a dedicated rally lead, meeting this requirement is not just possible, it is the standard. When you add 120% on top of 600% base, you are looking at a defensive layer that is almost impenetrable for lower tier players. The fact that it triggers at the very start of the battle is also a game changer for rally leads. In massive rallies, the initial burst of damage can often determine the momentum of the entire fight. Having a massive shield active from second 0 ensures that your glass cannon stats on your hunters and riders actually stay protected long enough to deal their damage. For the low spender, the Shield of Control is often a trap. While the raw numbers looked better if you are mixing an older hero who is not a control type with the newer one, you lose that 120% bonus entirely. Without that bonus, you are essentially using the slightly better shield that might not synergize with your specific troop stats. Furthermore, free-to-play players often find themselves in situations where they are defending rather than attacking, and the Shield of Despair's boost at low health provides a much-needed buffer to prevent a total wipeout. In contrast, the Shield of Control is designed for dominance. It is designed for the player who has the perfect hero synergy and wants to end the fight before their health even get close to that 50% mark. In summary, if you are grinding the game without dropping a paycheck every week, stick to the reliable ability of the Shield of Despair, because it is forgiving, it scales when you are in trouble, and it does not dictate which heroes you have to use. But if you are the tip of the spear for your alliance and you have the control meta heroes maxed out, you absolutely must run the Shield of Control. The sheer math of 720% total shield strength at the start of the battle is simply too high to pass up. It turns your march into a rolling fortress. And that is all the time we have for today's breakdown. I hope this helps you optimize your Arc Warden and gain that extra edge in the Wasteland. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a State of Survival guide. Stay safe out there, keep upgrading those buildings, and I will catch you in the next one.